Immigration is the process through which individuals become permanent residents or citizens of another country. The past century, the world has changed a lot. People go abroad for work, meet new people online, and traveling far distances is easier than ever due to airplanes and other high-speed transport methods. Faster transport means faster migration, and there are four main reasons for migrations, being economic, social, political, or environmental. Environmental reasons are, for example, droughts or earthquakes, and political reasons are about corrupt governments or war, for example. The first type of immigration that we have a lot of in the Netherlands is labor immigration, which can be categorized under economical reasons. When jobs are low paid or there aren't any jobs at all, many people choose to migrate. Another reason for economical migration is that there is sometimes a more fun or challenging job available outside the home country. In 2018, most immigrants that settled in the Netherlands were labor immigrants. The second type is social migration. This includes reasons such as marriage, but also family reunification. The second biggest group of immigrants that came to the Netherlands in 2018 were social immigrants. The third biggest group is student immigrants. This group can be categorized under economical immigrants. The Netherlands is an interesting place for students because we have excellent technical universities and a lot of English speakers.
Hi, I'm Vera, and I was able to talk to my grandparents about their story of living in Australia and migrating to Australia and then choosing to come back to the Netherlands. Just the story short, my grandparents are completely Dutch, but they decided to move to Australia when they were in their 20s. And after 8 years, I believe they told me, they decided to come back to the Netherlands again. And why they did that, they will tell in the interview. Why did you move to Australia in the first place?
I went to Australia. Yeah. I didn't want to do military service in Holland. No moral objection, but I thought it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
And given my degree in geology, my mental image was that after finishing my degree, I would see the world. It didn't matter where. And the way I found a job in Holland, in Australia, was very simply, my parents were on a safari in Kenya or Tanzania, and they were waiting for a ferry sitting behind the driver in a minibus. And the driver was reading a newspaper. And my parents noticed an advertisement for geologists wanted in Australia. And they had the idea that it would be useful for my dear little son to do something useful and apply for a job. So they cut out the advertisement, sent it to me, and I applied. And to do them a favor, in fact, because I was totally unqualified for the job. It was a tactical editorial role in an office for which you basically have to be a native speaker.
Yeah.
And I got a reply back, sorry, we won't consider you, but are you interested in another job, field geologist? And I said yes. That's all there is to it. And basically, like Grandma already mentioned, we had an option either migrating via the federal scheme or having the trip paid for by the employer. And we opted for the federal scheme because that was only £100, from like 200 guilders or so, for
That's not much.
And then we only had to stay in Australia for 2 years. And if I'd taken the employer scheme, which was the Western Australian state government, I would have signed up for, I think, for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't have moved. So it was basically a matter of opting for maximum freedom.
Yeah.
And why did you move back to the Netherlands after living in Australia for 8 years?
A number of years, Grandma basically made up her mind that being half a year alone was not her idea of fun. It wasn't my idea of fun either. And then we basically tried to get a job in Holland.
Yeah.
But even before we actually applied for the job in Australia, we had contact with Shell. But then they never actually offered me a job. But they made it quite clear in those days, you're talking about the late 70s, that there was no opportunity for females to be employed by Shell.
Yeah.
And basically didn't encourage us to apply to Shell in the first place.
No.
Okay, so that was what my granddad told me. Why they moved to the Netherlands, and now you will hear what my grandma says about this.
Evert also couldn't get a better job in the government there because he wasn't an Australian, and to improve yourself job-wise, you had to become Australian, and we never did want that because in Holland you have a much better old age pension than the people in Australia have.
Yeah.
So we decided that he would look for a job in the Netherlands. He also was looking for a job in Australia with an oil company in Australia, but the people he applied with said, why don't you go back to Holland because you are a Dutchman and you can find a job with Shell instead of with Philips Oil. And well, we never really thought that was a good idea, so we even applied for a couple of jobs in Holland, and we moved back after 8 years.
Yeah. And so that was also the reason why you moved back.
Well, to be closer to the family because my mother had died by then and my father was alone, and it was nice to have family around.
Okay, so that was the interview with my grandparents, and then now we'll listen to the father of Daan, and he is a Dutch voter.
Hi Eric, I would like to ask you some questions about social immigration. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, first question. What influence does social immigration have on the Dutch society?
I think it has certainly some influence. For instance, we have lots of immigrants. Some of them will definitely take jobs that other people would like to have, but on the other hand, they also take jobs that none of our Dutch colleagues want to have. So they also fulfill a good role in Dutch society.
Such as?
Well, there are many examples. For instance, mostly low-paid jobs that the Dutch people find too difficult or too dirty or not pleasant to do. These immigrants sometimes are willing to accept because they have all the advantages of being here in Holland, in the Netherlands, which is better than the places they came from.
Okay. Second question. Which party did you vote for, and did their opinion on immigration have any influence in making a decision on who to vote for?
I voted for D66. Their opinion on immigration has not much to do with it. Though I would like to stress that if I were to vote for a party that has an opinion about immigrants that they are very bad for the Netherlands, I certainly would not vote for them.
Okay. Would you say that you act differently to immigrants than to people without an international background?
I would say no.
Why not?
No. I like to take people as they are, no matter what their background is.
Good. Do you think that there are negative things about immigrants?
Negative things?
Negative.
Well, yes, definitely. Just like there are negative things about Dutch people. All people are different, and they all have their own ways of living. They have their own background, their own culture, their own things they are used to, and sometimes it clashes. But it's difficult to say that it's the fault of the immigrants. Sometimes it's our fault or our narrow-mindedness that makes us clash.
Do you think they should adapt, or that we should adapt to them?
I think both.
Okay, thank you. That's
You're welcome.
So that was what the father of Daan thinks about migration. and immigration. And then now for our last interview, we had the honor to interview the mayor of Bunschoten, who will tell us his opinion about migration.
What is your experience with social migrants?
Mijn ervaring is dat deze mensen in de gemeente Bunschoten komen wonen. Ze werken meestal op bedrijven in het bedrijventerrein. Nou, dan zie ik ze wel eens natuurlijk als ik daar op bezoek ben, maar dan heb ik er eigenlijk geen bemoeienis mee. Maar mijn ervaring is dat ik berichten krijg als ze in een huis wonen of een andere plek waar ze wonen en ze hebben daar of onderling zeg maar problemen of ze geven overlast in de buurt. Maar er zijn ook heel veel van die arbeidsmigranten die hier in het dorp wonen en waar je eigenlijk nooit wat specifiek over hoort. Dus niet alle arbeidsmigranten geven problemen.
What is your opinion on social migration?
2 dingen belangrijk. De eerste is, we hebben heel veel bedrijven in het dorp. En die bedrijven die zijn belangrijk dat wij werk hebben en dat er geld wordt verdiend. En dat ook die bedrijven groot zijn in ons dorp. Ze zijn ook vaak belangrijk voor sponsoring van de sportverenigingen en zo. En die grote bedrijven die kunnen niet meer hun werk regelen met arbeidskrachten die hier in Nederland afkomstig zijn of wonen. En dan moeten ze voor het bedrijf, dus deze mensen hier naartoe halen. Anders kan hun bedrijf niet meer blijven bestaan of niet groeien. Dus ze zijn heel erg nodig voor de economie. Aan de andere kant, als mensen uit andere landen hier komen wonen en ze werken en ze komen hier ook wonen en een gezin stichten, dan is dat natuurlijk ook prima. Maar je hebt er ook heel veel bij, die komen hier een korte periode werken en dan gaan ze weer terug. Dus ze kennen de taal niet, ze weten niet hoe het hier allemaal geregeld is. Ja, dan gaan ze zich soms ook een beetje in onze ogen vreemd gedragen. En dan komen er ook wel eens klachten. En soms wonen ze ook gewoon niet veilig, want dan zitten er te veel mensen bij elkaar. En dan krijgen ze op een gegeven moment last van elkaar, want het zijn geen familie, het zijn geen vrienden. Maar ze moeten steeds bij elkaar wonen. Ja, en dan komt de drank in het spel. En dan geven ze overlast. Of nog erger, dat er iets ergs gebeurt. En dat is ook wel eens geweest. Dus ik heb hele positieve ervaringen, maar ik heb ook een paar hele negatieve ervaringen ermee.
Does it matter if someone is migrated in the way you handle a person?
Ik vind van niet. We doen ons best om de mensen die van buiten Nederland komen en die in Bunschoten zijn komen wonen en zich vestigen, om die toch op een of andere manier beter te betrekken bij het dorp. En dat dat is een groepje van mensen en dat heet Bunschoten United. Dus verbonden, hè? United, met eenheid. En nou, in die groep zitten vertegenwoordigers van Turkse mensen uit het dorp, Syrische mensen, Poolse mensen en van de sport, de kerken, de politie en de gemeente. En dan praten we met elkaar over wat komen de mensen die hier vandaan komen, wat komen die hier tegen en voelen ze zich wel volledig geaccepteerd, zijn ze wel goed geïntegreerd en daar hebben we het met elkaar over en dat maakt een heel verschil. Of je dan bij wijze van spreken de kleinzoon bent van een Turkse gastarbeider, dan is je vader en je moeder zijn al hier geboren en je bent zelf hier geboren en je bent hier naar school geweest. Of een Poolse jongen van 20 jaar die geen woord Nederlands spreekt. Dat is natuurlijk een heel groot verschil. Maar ik benader ze allemaal op dezelfde manier.
In conclusion, it might be hard for people to adapt to the country that they've migrated to. And economical immigrants are absolutely vital to our system and we can't go without them. And sometimes people just migrate to a country for economical reasons just to find out that they miss their family and then they return to their native country for social reasons. There's much more to say about social immigrants, but this is all we've had to say for now. We hope you have seen that we enjoyed making this movie and that you've learned something from it. Bye.